Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I'm Kefa Halik again. I'm here one more time to try to get you guys involved into this book, Diseases of His Hearts and Its Cures. Diseases of the Hearts and Its Cures. I got to keep remembering to say the hearts. Real quick, apologize for the last video. It got disconnected due to the technical problems that I've been having with my computer. You know, technology it's a plus today, but also has some negatives to it and some inconveniences as well that come along with it, being that it's not perfect. So we have to know that. So I apologize again. But just to continue off of what I was saying, basically, let's go right back in. Let me get the book. Hold on. And the Sheikh was speaking about how the Qur'an, so that its meanings and commands and prohibitions may be reflected over, such that if one were to come across a verse commanding something, then he should follow it. So this is adhering and acting upon it. And that's a problem with us. I'm gonna say for us Muslims, pretty much. You know, we get too caught up into this dunya, caught up into our desires, what we want, and we got to be careful because, like it's been mentioned, and Allah's mentioned it. It's also hadiths, I think, that bring in support that the people who mentioned in the Quran about being desire worshippers. You know, I can't remember the verse, and if I can find it, I'll bring it later. Inshallah, we'll try to do so. But the thing is that we have to be careful with that because we find ourselves giving into our desires. And we're Muslim, and you claim to be Muslim. So if you claim to be Muslim and you doing that which is the opposite of what the Muslim's supposed to be doing, which is submitting to Allah, submitting to His will, His word, and that which is in it, as it says, the commands and prohibitions and the likes of these things, and then we find ourselves doing other than, then there's something that is going on that's wrong within our hearts and within our actions. So, like for instance, an example, the Muslim has adab that they have to live by, has a character or a persona, a personality and way of how they're supposed to live, okay, and carry themselves. And they show this out in the public. It's in the public, and this is very important that our akhlaq, our character, our personality and how we act, it is very important as far as an example. And we say dawah, an example of dawah, calling the people to correctness. We show through our actions that we are doing right, that we are adhering to the Quran, because we follow what Allah says, that He says to do and not to do. You know, we go to make sure we're going to make our prayers. We think, and it comes to our head, oh, it's time for the salah. And you leave off from what you're doing in the dunya, even if it's work. And if it's work, you know, of course, you're going to try to go by the regulations of the job. You don't want to lose your job. That's your risk that Allah gave to you as well. But you're going to do it in the times that you can do it. So as soon as you get your break, you go and you leave off from what you're doing and go and pray. And then you have the prohibitions of staying away from haram stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this is the Muslims. This is what is a part of our deen. This is what is a part of your statement that you say you're a Muslim. And for the younger Muslims, it's even more of a struggle that I've been experiencing and observing and seeing. Facebooking Muslims, and they're exposing themselves coming out of their garbs and loose ways and being lenient and doing things that Allah and His Messenger spoke against, or accepting that this is okay. Position of who the husband and the wife should be changing up now You know, the husband is more lenient to his wife than he's to his than he's supposed to be, and allowing his wife to do almost anything she wants to do. You know, people posing in pictures more than ever, and we clearly know that it is spoken against this. You know, the people with coming up with different styles that are looking like the kuffar, not dressing like a Muslim, predominantly more in their life. They're dressing like a kuffar. So you don't even know if they're Muslim unless they say they are. You know, listening to music more and more, even exposing it, hiding out in the open that you listen to it and you doing it and you involved in it. And then the indulgence of entertainment. Okay, we got movies and sports. I'm not don't get it twisted. Every Muslim is an imperfect being. Every Muslim. So some Muslims are going to do certain things that are not correct. But when it comes to the overindulging as well, things that could be allowed to do, like even going out and on outings or going and traveling to different areas for recreation, for entertainment, going to the movies. I mean, some ulama speak against it. Some they say is that, you know, as long as you're avoiding the likes of the haram. But how can you avoid the haram? There's people who are not Muslim in that place, and they're going to perform a haram if they want to. So you're right there in the midst if they making out. You're right there in the midst if they puffing marijuana, and the people don't care who run the movie theater, or they got some beer on the side and they drinking it. You're bearing witness to that stuff. Cussing in the movie theater, you know. You're in the midst of the people that Allah's wrath can come right down if He wanted to come on the people because of their sins that they're doing right there. Two people in there committing zina in the darkness. You don't see it. You may see it, and then you say, "Oh my God!" So you there? Why are you there? Diseases of the heart, and the cure is the Qur'an and adhering to it and implementing it. Being a true implementing Muslim. And I'm talking about myself first, because that's where I'm at right now. I know I'm 51. I'm not playing no games with myself. And I think we all need to be on that same page. And that's my nasiha. We all need to stop playing games and stop playing it like it's like this life is a game. This life is a test, and Allah is testing us until the day that we meet Him. First we go into our grave, and then we will meet Him on the day of Qiyamah. We will get to be in front of Him, and we don't want to be in the wrong position. Allahu Alam. And we also know that what He revealed to us in the Qur'an about that day, the Yawm Qiyamah. Remember that day. Remember your grave is prepared for you, or the place that Allah is going to place you in. Whatever happens to us in this life, whether we burn to smithereens or exploded and get blown up and be pieces all over the earth or whatever, we're going to still be in the earth. And He's going to raise us up from that which what we went into the earth, whether we were fully buried in the earth by our full-fledged janazah and our bodies intact and we didn't die in that way. But we're gonna enter the earth, and we're gonna come back out of the earth, raised up, uncircumcised, naked and uncircumcised. This is from the Quran. This is from Prophet explanation about with his hadiths. So you know, some of us know our deen, whether you younger adult or not. Let's don't. Hey, I keeps it real. And if it's bothering you what I'm saying, you're hearing me speak and this and like that, and it may think that I'm talking about you, okay, alhamdulillah, take the nasiha. I'm unapologetic these days now. I have to be, because it's for me, and then I have to enjoin the people to the good and forbid the evil. I have to. I'm not trying to play around with this life with Allah. And that Allah, I'm going to be on the day and be like, no, I'm not doing that for none of y'all. I'm not going to insult you. And I'm not even speaking to you directly, because none of you know who I'm talking to directly or who I'm talking about. I'm talking about in a general manner, because a lot of Muslims are off that are younger, and then even the older ones. that are not implementing this Qur'an as it says that the Sheikh brings. So basically, on that point, to continue, commanding something, then he should follow it. Again, that's what it was mentioned. If one were to come across a verse forbidding something, then he should leave it. I mentioned that. The seriousness of it. It's not a game. This is what Allah says in the Quran. And that these things that are forbidden, he says these things in the Quran, and we should leave them. If one were to come across the verse concerning the mercy of Allah, then he would hope for this mercy and ask for it. If one were to come across a verse threatening with punishment, then he would fear this and seek refuge with Allah from it. If one, and that's what I'm saying, fear, taqillah. We have to fear Allah. And haythama kunt, meaning to the best of your ability. But the best of the ability doesn't mean flaking off, being too lenient, compromising your deen. It means going to the best that you can go, doing your best. Best is a best. Its best is not the less or settle for less. That's not the same meaning. Best meaning you striving. Important. We have to implement this Quran. We have to implement this deen, fully. And it's not a game. So on that note, barakallahu fikum for listening to what I've just brought, and I will bring more videos. This book itself it's probably take a few more videos for me to really get into some more deepness of it, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try, inshallah, to do more videos. So it will be like another video after this one, and probably after that one. So there'll be more than part 3, part 4 to come. So inshallah, enjoy and get the benefit that you can. I hope that it inspires you to seek knowledge again and refreshing your life again on the path of seeking knowledge and learning and reading this book again yourself and getting into it and using it to help you, to help all of us. May Allah guide us all. Allahumma ameen. May you have a good evening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.